This is Hot to Go. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
And you guys, here is an update for all updates. Blake Lively v. Justin Baldoni. We've been keeping you up to date on this case ever since it was dropped in the very end of 2024. The latest update happened last night. And as of this morning, Blake Lively's team has dropped part of their lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. They're officially abandoning their claims about emotional distress. So if you remember right, her initial claim back in December 31st of 2024 was sexual harassment, retaliation, and a big part of that was infliction of intentional emotional distress and negligent infliction of emotional distress. Her team, as of last night, as of Monday, were saying, we would like to withdraw this claim. Now, as soon as that happened, Justin Baldoni's team, as they have been this whole time, jumped right on top of that, and they said, oh, yep. Well, we're not surprised because that means you just don't want us to go into your medical records. Because here's the deal. In order for a side to claim emotional distress, you would have to have them go, okay, well, then you need to sign this HIPAA release so that we can look at your medical records. Because if you're saying you went to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a doctor, if you had mental anguish, severe emotional distress and pain, as she claimed she did, there will be medical records of this, and our team needs to be able to see that so that in a court of law, when it comes up, we're not just going, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? So when her team said that, his team went, okay, win for us. It means that you don't want us looking at your medical records, which means you're lying. A huge part of this with Blake Lively's team asking for this to be dropped by this judge, removing this part of the case, was that they wanted to do this with prejudice. Now, what it means to have something in a court of law with prejudice, it means, her team wanted it to be without prejudice. That basically means it can come back up. So she's saying, her team's going, listen, we want to withdraw this emotional distress part of it, emotional negligence, blah, 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 blah. It could maybe come up again. His team's going, hell no. You can't just drop it and then bring it back up. We won't have time to look into your records.
Yeah.
So they were asking for a judge to sign off with prejudice. As of, was it this morning, Mike?
This was just a few hours ago. The judge has officially made a ruling that the distress claims against Justin Baldoni are officially dead.
Dead in the water.
Completely dead.
And are they they will be with prejudice. They cannot come back, correct?
I believe that is my understanding, yes.
Okay. So we were looking into this, trying to figure out exactly what to make of this. I know we've talked about this in the show before. My dad is a retired state judge here in Minnesota. And so I was like, is this kind of normal? Is this a normal thing for somebody to go, hey, I'm claiming emotional distress, and then once the different attorneys and different parties can start looking into it, they go, never mind. And he said, here's the deal. Her attorneys should have known that this would come up.
Yeah.
Her attorneys, they're not dummies. They know that those medical records are going to be asked for in a case like this, because here's the deal. They don't want to just look at, okay, so she maybe went to a psychologist to talk about what was happening on set. No. They want to look way back in her history.
Yeah.
They want to see, is there,
what's the baseline?
Okay, great. Yeah. She went to see a psychiatrist 3 days a week, but she's been doing that for 6 years.
Yeah. Is this something that she easily rattled? Did she already have PTSD from something else?
Right.
I mean, you would want to, if you're going to dig into this, they're going to dig into this.
They're going to dig in and they want to make sure things, and I am not by any means saying this happened, but what if it was oh, my husband was cheating on me? And then they can go, the other legal team could go, this was also happening. That's your emotional distress. It wasn't our client. So there's so many different things that her team, Blake Lively's team, should have known that this would all come up, that there would be an ask of Justin Baldoni's team going, we want to see your records.
So what's changed? What would be the thing that changed? And to that, I say, I think the big thing that's changed is Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are realizing that the tide has kind of turned on them in the public. And so maybe the things that they were like, we don't mind these being digged into, all of a sudden they're going, yeah, we don't really want people finding out A, B, or C about us, or it's just not worth it.
Well, her team is claiming that this is all just a press stunt. That the fact that Blake Lively wants to abandon those claims is just trying to streamline and focus the case. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
Justin Baldoni's team is going,
Win-win. They keep going. Yeah. I mean, isn't this the theme, right? Anytime anything happens, they both go, what a win for our side. Here's why.
And how is it streamlining the case when I think claiming and actually being able to prove this emotional distress is going to prove the other side of your case or really help in proving the other side of your case. So the idea that this is streamlining when this is a pretty paramount part of this case doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, all of the case was built on the idea that she felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
100%. And when I was talking to the retired judge about this, he said, that's gobbledygook. Those were his exact words. That's gobbledygook. Like,
that's a legal term.
Yes, that is it. It's why he's retired now, you know. No, but he said it because I asked that. I was like, her team is saying that they want to streamline this. Is that something? He goes, they can say that, but no, because he said it would be very, very odd that in a sexual harassment claim, which is the big part of this case, right?
Yeah.
That they wouldn't ask for her medical records anyway.
Yeah.
Because she would have a mental health part of it. Like that is part of feeling like you're harassed is your mental health.
And in what world has a lawyer ever said, you know what, we're not going to bring some of our evidence because we don't want to overwhelm you guys. That's not a thing that a lawyer has ever said, done, ever in the history of. I know this would help our case, but we feel like it would be a little complicated and we don't want to make things complicated. What?
No, it's such a good point, Brittany. You're like, since when you guys put like 400-page documents out a day for funsies?
Yeah. Literally, your job is to overwhelm with proof.
It's pretty wild. Again, just the latest bump in this Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case.
This is the first time I had a feeling that, first time ever in all this, that I went, they might settle out of court. I know Justin Baldoni won't want to, but they might do it in a way where they're like, this is the first time it felt like they're not going to drag this out tooth and nail because you just let go of one of your biggest arguments.
And the idea that I think a big part of this is she didn't want those records to be made public.
Yeah.
Which if you bring this case to trial, inevitably something's going to come up. Even if a judge withholds some of it and says this isn't really necessary for the case to move forward, it's going to come out.
Yeah.
And like they knew that though. They knew that.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's an interesting update to that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni case, which though not at all a serious update is that Justin Baldoni's body double on the set of It Ends With Us is speaking out. And all he has to say about that set is this: it was tense. He goes, it was really, really tense. It was discomfort for everybody. He said he'd worked with Blake Lively before on a different movie. And he said it was just such a different vibe. He said, I'd campaigned with her for A Simple Favor in 2018. She was always very nice. He's like, I'm not saying that she wasn't, but she just seemed a lot more relaxed, easy, comfortable. He goes, I come on this set and I noticed her husband's there.
Yeah.
I think to myself, oh, cool. Like they're really supportive of each other. However, I got a lot of clarity that in December when this lawsuit came out, oh, maybe he was really on the set, Ryan Reynolds was, because Blake Lively was uncomfortable. And he said, I can't say a bad word about Justin Baldoni. I haven't talked to him since we've ended filming, but he was nothing but professional with me. The other big thing he said is that what was so weird was he was only supposed to be on set for a couple of days. Because again, he was only his body double for a couple of like fight scenes.
Yeah.
And he said, I ended up being there for about 2 weeks. And he goes, you could tell that things were just tense and they weren't moving how they should have been.
And I will say, though, only bringing this up is that the content's so different. A Simple Favor is light comedy, and then they were taking on domestic abuse, domestic assault. So at least, just to acknowledge that it's going to be a different vibe overall, just content-wise, but it still doesn't make up for how extreme of a difference that is.
And we've heard so much about the rewrites and reshoots and kind of how they wanted to attack things. You could understand why they'd be like, let's get all your physical scenes in.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, we might want to do some more, or maybe we want to do this a little differently than we planned. So it makes sense that he would spend a little more time there than he was initially planning on.
Totally.
Just another little thing.
Yeah.
Another little non-favor.
It's with us.
All right. Days have passed. Things have changed. We used to shout out influencers to drop the skincare routine. Tell us what you're doing. Kylie has now shifted. Kylie Jenner, that is, where she's actually telling us her boob job combo. It's no more of drink water or work out or, I don't know, lift heavier weights. One influencer on TikTok, or one of her fans on TikTok, said, hey, I'm about to get my breast done. And I want this exact look that you have, Kylie. And she tagged her saying, any way you can tell me exactly what you had done? Of course, assuming she's never going to say, or maybe somebody else will go, this is what she had done.
Mm-hmm.
Not all heroes wear capes, but they do overline their lips. Kylie Jenner comes out and says, 445 cc's, moderate profile, half under the muscle, silicone. Garth Fisher, hope this helps, LOL, literally lays out the routine for the pristine, the gorgeous breast implants that she had herself.
Bravo, Kylie Jenner. The Lord's work is done.
The transparency, the honesty. I mean, it is like, what is happening?
It's great. I mean, gatekeeping, obviously we hate, but we kind of get it when you're like, my nail tech is always overbooked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to see my babysitter because they're not available for me half the time. But this, give it to us, sister. Tell us what it is. She talks about her boobs on the Kardashians season. I don't remember, but she was like 19 and she was talking to her friend and she's like, listen, I wish I never would have gotten them done. I got them done at 19 and they look great, but I had babies and then I hated them. And that sucked. So like, it's not like she hasn't been clear that she's had a boob job.
Yeah.
But yeah, for her to go out and say the specific size, who did it.
Like, we're honored when you tell us, hey, switch out lemon for lime in this recipe. You're going to be so happy. But the honesty around, this is exactly the order you need when you go see your plastic surgeon. We love it.
We love this. Like, yeah, we know you overline your lips. Give us a new secret.
I love this. And like, we've talked about this. Listen, like, we can't stress enough. Technically, it's none of our business. But so many things aren't that we dig into. So if you want to not tell us you're on Ozempic, cool. But like, don't lie to us.
Right.
And so Kylie going above and beyond, saying, this is what you need to go in. Go aggressively. Say this to your surgeon. You're welcome.
You're welcome, everybody.
I also love that she dropped the surgeon that I guarantee you that person probably can't afford.
No.
Yeah.
If you got to ask, you can't afford it. Sorry.
They see him in some of the Kardashians episodes. Like, he's only doing like the Kardashians level people. Did you see the thing that she reposted the other day on TikTok? Mm-mm. So there's this clip from Sex and the City where Samantha says, I don't get laid unless the Knicks win. Kylie reposted it because her boyfriend, Timothy Chalamet, is a huge fan. They've been at the games. And I was like, oh, she is just like us.
Yeah, she's begging for it too.
I mean, you know, happy wife, happy life. Also that she has like Knicks themed lingerie.
I know. She's like, I know my demo and it's Timothy. And yeah.
Would you get your boobs done, Brittany?
No.
Never?
No, not because I get it. I see the appeal. Literally. And honestly, I have huge shoulders and like would make sense to like for my body type. But the part of me that really is low maintenance, like I just wear a tight tank top when I work out and I'm fine. And I love that. Like I love what I get away with having small boobs. For me personally, I like small boobs. But, you know, like I've never had, and I've also never had somebody like I like that was like pushing for that or what, you know what I mean? Like I've never had that kind of pressure across the board. Would you ever get fake breasts?
Hell yeah.
Would you?
Oh, after I'm done having babies, clean those bad boys up. Put them back where they're supposed to be.
Augmentation is a little different than.
I know, but I'm also going to add a little bit of some. All
right.
Why not?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, maybe, no, I will. Because then I look at her boobs and I'm like, yeah, those look pretty nice. I don't want them that big.
Yeah.
But they look good.
It's hard. I'm telling you, though, make sure, like, maybe walk around with it for a little while because I think I'm smaller than you. And living this life is nice. Like not thinking about it is nice. I many a times roll into work with no bra and it's nice.
I love that for you.
Thanks. And maybe when you get yours done, you could be the same too anyways. Like,
I'm pretty sure once you get your boobs done, you also don't wear a bra ever. So it's going to be great.
That's what it is. It's honestly like absolutely, as you know, that I love running, working out and barely doing anything for myself. That's where I come from. But I get that, yes, it looks beautiful on women.
I will tell you this. When I get my boobs done after I'm done having babies,
Yeah.
I will also spill a tea about who did it, what size, what type, and everything else you need to know. I'll probably take you on the journey with me.
Of course.
You're welcome, America.
We said it first. We came from an angle of Hailey Bieber selling her beauty empire for $1 billion. And we thought to ourselves, is this a way that she is going to kind of separate herself, make some money, and possibly separate from Justin Bieber as he spirals out of control? Well, Radar Online agrees with us in some aspects, but also says, no, this is a way of her trying to regain control. So they're claiming that with Hailey Bieber selling selling her beauty brand Rhode for $1 million to $1 billion.
I was like, $1 billion
to Elf. It may have been all about her troubled husband. She had to take a step back from her empire. And the truth is she's not changing so much what she's doing, but she's letting go of distribution a little more. And it's the idea to help Justin and kind of keep an eye on her family is what they're claiming. Sources are saying that she needs to be present more for not only Justin, but to really step up for their kiddo because he's not going to be. Justin's not going to be.
Okay, well, that's the dumbest, lamest thing ever, Radar Online. Aren't you supposed to be juicy? Aren't you supposed to be filled with all the gossip and misplaced quotes?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, okay, so I will say we're on to something. They're going a different angle with it, like this solidify their marriage. Our show has come from a place of we see her stepping away, and maybe it's some of us projecting. But I like it. But I don't know. Either way, I go, there's something to this.
Okay. Also, I mean, like, I get it. Yes, she definitely wants to scale up. And when you want to scale up to that size, when she said that Rhode, right before the Elf Cosmetics deal came out publicly, she said that Rhode was going to be in Sephora. Remember that all came out when Vogue came out. It all was like within a week of each other. And to scale up at that level is a massive undertaking. You need people who know what they're doing. And the easiest thing, unfortunately, for a lot of small brands in one aspect, but in another aspect, like fortunately for them, there are these massive companies that will go, here's some money. How about we do it for you?
Yeah. And the thing is, too, looking at her life, like she doesn't want to be the Elon Musk of beauty brands. She doesn't want to sleep in the office. She doesn't want to be there 24/7.
No.
Not, too blessed to be stressed would be the vibe. If there's a way where you can get your product out there, maybe not see as big of an income as you did it on your own, but literally get to live your freaking life and somebody else does the dirty work. Win-win.
Especially for a bill. Like,
I know.
For that much money, and I think 600 million of that is guaranteed cash offer. Hell to the yes.
You could buy 2 full tracks or full libraries of Taylor Swift's music for that.
You buy your husband's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easily.
With
a few times.
With some cash to maybe a big old trip after too.
Yes.
I still think that Radar Online, you are wrong. And I would appreciate if you would step up your game and work harder like you normally do.
The nice thing we have going for us is Radar Online is not committed to this. They'll change up to a different story next week. Don't even worry about it. They won't even acknowledge this story next week when they decide that they are getting a divorce and that's why she sold. So don't worry.
I like that story.
Yeah.
It's just much more like the Kris Kardashian of it all that we've also just kind of like put in there and put in our little mix is that like, oh, there's where her friendship with Kylie is all so that Kris can help her get a divorce. I think that we have tied it with a bow and everyone can thank us in a few months' time.
I don't think you're wrong, but I do think she's the type that's going to try to save face. And I think she's been controlling Justin Bieber, or not controlling, but like hiding things around him for a while. So if she does leave him, I think she's going to have to absolutely learn her lesson through and through by dealing with this for a little longer.
Learning lessons, boring.
Speaking of leaving a man, Sabrina Carpenter is set to release a new single. If you haven't seen, she has taken to the highways of what is it, Texas, I think?
Yeah, around Texas.
Around Texas, where she's got billboards up all promoting this new album, or new song, I should say. You may have seen yesterday on social media, she posted a video of her hitchhiking on the side of the road, and she was wearing some Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. A diaper would have been cheaper.
It was a very cheeky post. And she said today why that post was out there, and that is the fact that she's got this new single coming out. It is called Man-Child, and in her post, it simply says, "This one's about you," with 2 exclamation points.
Bing, 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 bing.
So, who do we think? And again, keep in mind, this is Sabrina Carpenter, who dropped Espresso during Coachella last year, and it became arguably the song of the summer. Maybe this is going to be our next possible song of the summer from Sabrina Carpenter, but there's a lot of Barry Keoghan going on right here.
Oh, there's so much Barry Keoghan going on here, which makes sense because he just did an interview where he really unveiled a lot of personal stuff. And I think that was a proactive interview.
Nothing's real. Nothing's real. There's a reason why we got all this sympathy for Barry Keoghan last week in his men's health article about addiction and his struggle and everything he dealt with as a kid. And then next week, we get a diss track against him.
I just want to say to Barry Keoghan, and like also I love that he told that story because he was talking about being an addict. Yeah. We love when people share that and their success stories. So like, it's great. Some things, good things can come out of stuff. But here's the thing, Barry Keoghan, I'm just going to speak for all of us. We don't care that you're a bad boyfriend. That's on brand for you. We're fine with that.
Like, you should just lean in.
Totally. Like,
have you never seen an enemies to lovers trope? They're everywhere. Those guys are horrible.
No,
and we eat it up.
We eat it up, nom, nom, nom. Like you're not going to be getting lead male roles that are like knight in shining armor vibes.
No.
You're dirty in the best way, and we like it.
And of course, we had Please, 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 which was the song that featured him in the music video. And it was all about, hey, I know everyone's saying you're a bad boy. I know they're saying you're going to cheat on me. I know they're saying you're terrible. But please, please, please don't prove them right.
Yes, don't embarrass me. You did.
You did.
That's okay because you leaned into the song and we're not mad about it. I still want to see you in things.
But is Sabrina mad about it? And are we going to find out in 2 days when we get Man-Child?
Also, he got picked up for one of the Beatles, right?
Yeah, he's going to be in the Beatles, that 4-part Beatles thing. He's got so much stuff coming up.
Does Disney own that?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, actually, he might have to fix his how he's being perceived if that's a Disney jam.
He is part of Sam Mendes Films. He is going to be playing the role of...
I thought it was Ringo, but I may have made that
You're
up.
right. It is Ringo.
Okay.
He's got Ringo. Paul Mescal will be Paul McCartney. Harrison Dickinson will be John Lennon. And Joseph Quinn, George Harrison.
Ringo's not problematic, but like, it's fine. Ringo's Ringo. Like, we're fine with it. You don't have to be squeaky clean to play Ringo.
I was just looking at a list of her exes. It's got to be about him.
Of course it is.
I mean, Shawn Mendes is the only other, like, maybe option.
No. Hillary got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of these are just little baby nobodies. No offense, baby nobodies.
Have you ever tried this one before? I feel like it's definitely Barry Keoghan, and I definitely think lean into it, Barry. We like a bad boy. And Sabrina, it is perfect for both of them.
It is. It's so on brand.
I love this. But how funny if it was Glenn Powell, like she tried to make it work and he's a big old man-child. Also fun.
There's no way it's Glenn Powell.
I know.
He's with Sydney Sweeney.
5th of this month, which is in 2 days at 7 p.m. And there's a special 7-inch vinyl available now.
Well, that is your hot to go. It was both hot and ready to go. We love you to like, subscribe, comment, all the things.